Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove the stock front lines. We showed you guys on the back how to use a speed bleeder bag and just the master cylinder to empty the reservoir in the system. Okay, it makes for a clean job when you don't have lines and a reservoir full of fluid. Up front, Mathias and I are going to take advantage of the air-powered brake bleeder. Okay, this is what we normally like to use, and it just makes it go a little bit faster. He is removing the top from the reservoir. I am removing the cap from the bleeder screw down here. And this will just suck the line clean. You can see that the line is fairly clear on this. Okay, you can actually hear it now drawing air through the reservoir on the top. I'm going to go ahead and close that bleeder screw. And another thing you can do with these is keep the air on when you pull the hose off. Just make sure you don't drip anything. Mathias will go ahead and hit the other side. Okay, and now I'm going to take, and I'm going to begin breaking this loose. You'll note that we've already put paper towels on all the key points where fluid loves to drip. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and grab a 6mm Allen wrench. Okay, I'm going to come up here, I'm going to break this Banjo bolt loose. Up at the master cylinder. How are you doing there with fluid? You getting much out, or is that it?
It's empty.
Okay, so I'm good.
Always watch out that you don't get any brake fluid over your brake pads, because then you can throw your brake pads away.
Yeah, install a new set. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and break this loose. Man, that thing is tight. You'll find too, this one is a little tougher to get to, and it's hard to get good torque on the bolt. But it is now broken loose. It'll come out the rest of the way.
We have to take the bracket in the middle off.
Just finger tight, and we have to take the bracket off as well. Do you have the ratchet over there, sir? Oh, you're working on the mount up there, the junction block?
Must come off.
And there you go. Where's the 3/8 ratchet at? Here we go, right here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to remove the stock mount for the brake line. Zip tie up here, holding the brake lines to the fork leg. Just going to use a pair of side cutters, get in there and cut that cable tie off. And now this is where you want to be careful. You know, you've got, brake fluid that is going to be dripping out just a bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and undo this banjo right now. Make sure you keep the plastic parts up here covered. And there it is. Put that old bolt to the side. Once again, try to keep the line elevated as much as possible, right?
Yes, and what we always do is, as a little thing, make a little plug out of paper towels. And put it through the eye of the banjo fitting.
That's not a bad idea.
And
you like to do the same thing down here as well?
Yes, just in case.
It's not a bad idea. I've never thought of that before. Just to help absorb a little bit of that as you kind of pull it through.
That's fine. There's always plenty of paper towels.
Okay, I'm good to go.
I'm good to go too.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and feed the line through here. Now we have kind of crossed over the top of the fender. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest that we do is, if you want to just hand me a paper towel real quick, I'm going to go ahead and just wipe the fender off, just to be on the safe side. Okay, and like Mathias has said before, let's go ahead and let's make sure that we have our surfaces here clean. Quick wipe up the master cylinder. Let's make sure we don't have any brake fluid laying anywhere. Look good to go. Okay, the two front lines, like we said before, we looked at them and compared the length. They are almost identical. So these can go in either direction, top or bottom, makes no difference, Mathias?
Yeah, this makes no difference. If there should be a longer line, the longer line is mostly for the left side, because you have to cross over the fender. The Yamaha, since we convert from a 3-line kit basically to a 2-line kit, the right line has to get a little bit of a swing, so in order to make up when you are hard on the brakes, so the suspension, dives into the suspension, that it routes properly.
Okay, you want to go ahead and feed the other side up through?
Yes.
This is where we're going to get our double banjo bolt ready. And remember, when you use the double banjo bolt, you are going to need a total of 3 crush washers, not just 2.
And in this case, I'm pretty sure we might have to adjust the banjo fittings, and we will show you how that works.
There's another crush washer. Stack the line. And once we get this on and kind of get this finger tight, like Mathias just noted, this will be the perfect opportunity to show you guys how to adjust the brake lines. Now up here you are working in a kind of a tight little area, okay? You've got your throttle cables up here, you've got your master cylinder up here, you're kind of fighting against the brake lines a little bit, and this can be a bit of a challenge. What you can do is, if you want to hand me the ratchet, sir. To make this go just a little bit easier, you can actually loosen up the master cylinder. I'm not going to need the extension at all. If you pull that off there for me, sir. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to break the master cylinder loose so I can rotate it around just a little bit, and that's going to help me to get this banjo bolt started easier.
That's a good idea, Brian.
I feel like 2 guys in a garage. You ever see that show?
Yes.
I can't remember what channel it was on. They're always working on an old car or something. And just kind of leave that just a little bit loose so I can move it around.
And one thing you always have to watch out for is also some master cylinders are set up in this way that the tab which extracts from the brake lever, the brake light switch, might be a little bit in the way where the banjo fittings are located. So watch out that everything clears nicely if you also pull the brake lever, not that the tab from the brake light switch is hitting the banjo fittings.
And we're going to go ahead and cut right there, and we'll come back to part 2 of the front brake lines.